Hello everyone and welcome to Blaugrana Everything, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to winning as well. It's been a minute, right? Feels like it. It's only been 2 matches without a win for Barca, but they were able to thankfully break that rut that I said that they were in my previous video, and it came courtesy of a goal from Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, coming pretty early actually in the 11th minute of the first half. And fun fact, actually, that was the first goal that Barcelona have scored in the first half since God knows when. Like, it's been a very long time since Barcelona first took the lead, finding themselves having to come back. So thankfully this time around that didn't have to be the case, although I should say that the match did not come easy, because for all of the good football that Sociedad did play at times in this game, they just generally decided to be thugs. I don't know how many times Alexander Isak just straight up assaulted our players, and the referee was just there carry on, and it happened so many times. I was just shocked, honestly. Anyway, we'll get to that later. In the meantime, Barcelona moved back into second with a chance to be as many as 3 points clear of Sevilla this coming weekend, and 5 ahead of Atletico de Madrid, as they will be playing host to Rayo Vallecano. But of course, with these things, you never count those eggs until they have hatched, right? So don't expect an easy match from Rayo, especially looking at how they've probably seen that, Frankfurt was physical with Barca, Levante was physical with Barca, Sociedad was physical with Barca, Cadiz was physical with Barca, and they all kind of either got something from those games or almost got something from those games. So yeah, that won't be easy. But anywho, that's not what I'm here to talk about. We're not here to preview the Rayo match. We're here to review the Sociedad game. So I will quickly take you through the tactical setup of the two sides before talking about my negatives and positives and picking my man of the match. And while I'm doing that, you just feel free to hit like on this video at any point, and also to hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. And thank you for 2K, guys. Anywho, let's go ahead and talk tactical setup. Sociedad set up in a typical 4-1-3-2 shape that they are accustomed to, except this time around they had a crucial absentee in the form of David Silva, and that saw Zubimendi get the start rather than Merino in that holding position. Barca, on the other hand, set up with the usual 4-3-3 with Aubameyang, Araujo, Pique, as well as Dani Alves returning to the starting 11, with 3 of them going off injured. Crazy match this turned out to be, and not for good reasons at all. Anywho, let's get straight into talking about some of those not good reasons, because I'm talking about my negatives. My first negative was the wastefulness in front of goal. Like today, we had a pretty good amount of chances to have scored at least 4 goals in this match. Although, Ferran Torres had at least 2, and Gavi as well had 1, which they just couldn't hit the target when they really should have, and the finishing just wasn't at the level that we've come to expect from this front 3 that we have seen over the past 2 months. So that was definitely a negative for me. In this one, we need to pull up our socks, especially against Rayo, because Rayo, they're a bit more clinical in front of goal than Sociedad, I think. My next negative, my second one and final one, actually, I'm going to roll it all up in one, because I think one was caused by the other one, and that was the injuries and the refereeing. Now, it's not very common for a team to suffer 3 injuries to 3 defenders all at once, and the reason, or one of the reasons that happened, was just because of how aggressive Soloth and Isak were being with Barcelona today, and in particular those 2 players. I do not know how neither one of them walked away from this game without even a caution, right? That's what brings me to the referee. The referee was allowing physical abuse, like physical assault, violence. That's what Jordi Alba suffered. That's what Clement Longley got a taste of as well. I mean, this dude literally shoulder barged Clement Longley in the head and didn't even get a talking to from the referee. The refereeing was very bad. I mean, Sociedad's fans threw stuff on the ground, so the referee, kind of delayed the game a bit. But then why are you adding back that time? Honestly speaking, they threw stuff on the ground, they should be punished by not being given more time. So like we ended up with 10 minutes of additional time, and it was crazy. We only had like 2 injuries in that second half. 10 minutes. That was absolutely ridiculous, and thankfully we still go away with 3 points. And so that brings me to my positives. My first positive was that this was a great performance from the midfielders and defenders from Barcelona. And in that, of course, I am including the goalkeeper. Just generally here, if a last-ditch challenge needed to be made, it was made. Everybody put in their work. Dest put in his work. Clement Longley put in his work. Eric Garcia put in his work. And those were the 3 subs who came on for Alves, Araujo, and Gerard Piqué, who also had like massive games. But aside from them as well, we had our midfield, Gavi, Busquets, and Frankie de Jong, all of whom dominated in duos today. They were just getting to loose balls quicker than the Sociedad midfielders were, and they were winning aerial duels. More importantly, putting in those last-ditch challenges. It was a very good defensive performance from us in the second half. My second positive is that Barcelona are back in second place, and that we're starting to make a bit more of a gap between second and fifth, which honestly is what I want to see. If Barca can win against Rayo now, the gap to Betis will be up to 9 points, which I think is a pretty good place to be in, especially with just 6 more matches to go, meaning you just need the 3 wins and you've secured yourself a top 4 finish, provided you beat Betis at the Via Marine, of course. Anywho, my third and final positive is the confidence boost that we will get from this win for the remaining 6 games. Look, I'm pretty sure that if you're a Barca fan, you probably felt nervous at some point, either during this match or just before this match, because you were not sure if this team could get across the finish line. I guarantee you the players felt something similar as well, because if they did not win this game here, especially if they lost it, that would have been a huge hit on their confidence. And going forward, you're just going to start having so many questions, questions that you probably even shouldn't have. It was a good thing here that Barcelona got this big win, and it's going to be a big boost to their confidence as well. And also it's just like an extra insurance policy, because you don't really know if you're going to beat Rayo. So it's better to win the matches you're playing now rather than waiting to win a game in hand. Alright, now that I'm done with my positives, I will give you my man of the match now. As I have hinted already, there were a lot of great performances here from our players, and as I was sitting down to pick a man of the match, actually I had quite a few to choose from. Okay, I have mentioned already Sergio Busquets, I have mentioned Gerard Piqué, I have mentioned Frankie de Jong, but ultimately the man who I chose to go with for man of the match was none other than Marc-Andre ter Stegen. There's just no other way of putting this. He made big saves that kept the scoreline at 1-0, and that saw Barcelona across the finish line. He looked a lot more like 2018-19 Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Yes, he looked that good tonight, and I think he was very much deserving to be named the man of the match. Well, that is all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in. What were your thoughts on the game? Who was your man of the match? Please tell me in the comments below. Have a great day, and Forza Barca.